every elite football club in the world now has an AI system watching games and writing tactics. Not metaphorically, literally. The software is in the coaching booth, at training, in the scouting room, and in the physio department. This video breaks down exactly what is happening and what it means for the game. 10 years ago, coaching was gut instinct plus film sessions. A good coach watched replays, saw patterns, felt hunches. That model is gone. The club's winning titles today are running AI systems that process more information in 90 minutes of football than any coaching staff could review in a week. The shift happened fast, and most fans still haven't registered it. StatsBomb is one of the key data companies supplying clubs. Every match, they track over 3,000 individual events: passes, pressures, duels, carries, off-ball movements. Every single one tagged with location, body position, outcome, and timestamp. A decade ago, clubs were tracking roughly 100 statistics per game. That is the scale of change. 3 systems generate the raw data. GPS performance vests worn in training capture position and physical output for every player at high frequency. Optical tracking cameras, up to 50 per stadium, capture 25 frames per second of every player's full body position. And the match ball's inertial measurement unit transmits 500 data points per second. Together, they build a complete spatial model of the entire game. 3,000. That is how many events get tracked in a single 90-minute match, 30 times more than a decade ago. The clubs feeding this into machine learning models are finding patterns that are simply invisible to the human eye. Not marginal advantages, structural ones. The data gap between clubs running this infrastructure and those that aren't is widening every season. Expected goals, XG, is the metric that rewired how football is analyzed. It assigns a probability to each shot based on position, angle, pressure, and assist type. One shot from the penalty spot under no pressure is worth around 22% XG. A header from 30 meters under pressure is worth 2%. You add those up across a season, and the club's underlying performance becomes visible, separate from luck. This is what XG looks like spatially. Every zone on the pitch has a conversion probability. Shots from inside the 6-yard box convert at around 28%, the highest value zone. From just inside the penalty area, it drops to 12%. From outside the box, under 5%. AI builds on this foundation, adding real-time defender position, goalkeeper position, body angle, and assist quality. The output is a shot probability calculated instantly, for every shot, every match. 28%. That is the average conversion rate from the 6-yard box, the highest value zone on the pitch. AI clubs design their entire attacking patterns around systematically generating shots from exactly these areas. The probability has always been known. What is new is the systematic execution. Every player's movement mapped to maximize shots from the zones that actually convert. Pressing has been transformed by data. High-intensity pressing, winning the ball high up the pitch after losing it, was popularized by Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. But where to press and when to press is not obvious. Pressing in the wrong zones gives up dangerous counterattack space. AI now maps the exact moments and locations where each opponent is most vulnerable to a press, updated every week for every opponent in the schedule. This is what a pressing map looks like. The high-value zones show where a specific opponent's players lose the ball under pressure most frequently. The low-value zones are traps. Pressing here leads to counterattacks. This map is built fresh for every opponent, every week. Players learn to respond to live feedback from these maps during training sessions, so the pressing triggers become automatic during the match. Set pieces have become the highest value opportunity in the game, and AI is responsible. Every team at the 2026 World Cup arrived with AI-designed set piece routines. The software analyzes thousands of corners and free kicks to identify the exact defensive shape each opponent runs, then designs movement patterns to exploit the specific gaps. Teams that hadn't adopted this before the tournament found themselves at an immediate structural disadvantage. 35%. That is the percentage of goals scored from set pieces at the 2026 World Cup, the highest ever recorded at a major tournament. The same number was under 20% a decade ago. It didn't jump because players suddenly got better at corners. It jumped because AI found and systematically exploited the gaps in set-piece defense, and teams are now doing it at scale. Player tracking has reached a level of precision that fundamentally changes physical preparation. Optical cameras capture every player's full body position at 25 frames per second across the entire pitch. Combined with GPS data from training vests, clubs now have a complete record of every player's physical output, sprint distances, accelerations, decelerations, and fatigue accumulation over a 90-minute match. That data feeds directly into substitution timing and training load management. 30 key points on the human body are tracked in real time. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, head, each joint logged at 25 frames per second. That skeleton model lets AI detect when a player's running mechanics are degrading, the subtle changes in stride pattern and joint angle that indicate fatigue long before the player consciously feels it. A performance coach reviewing this data can pull a player before the injury happens. Football AI Pro, the platform FIFA deployed at the 2026 World Cup in partnership with Lenovo, introduced natural language querying for coaching staff. A coach types, "Where do we lose the ball in the final third on transitions?" The system returns matching video clips, spatial data, and statistics in under a minute. What used to take an analyst 4 hours of film review now takes 60 seconds. That is the specific change in the coaching booth this year. Real-time fatigue monitoring is now live during matches at elite level. Wearable sensors and optical tracking feed a continuous model of each player's physical state. The model outputs a depletion score, how much physical reserve a player has remaining, based on current sprint output versus their baseline. Coaching staff see this data on a tablet on the bench. Substitution decisions are no longer guesses calibrated on visible signs. They're grounded in objective physical data. 40%. That is the reduction in soft tissue injuries Liverpool reported after implementing AI-driven load management. Hamstring tears, quad strains, the chronic injuries that used to cost clubs millions in wages and tens of points on the table across a season. The AI model calculates when a player is approaching dangerous fatigue levels during training and flags them for rest before the training session that would have caused the injury actually takes place. Lineup selection used to be straightforward. Pick your best 11, adjust for the opponent. Now it is multivariable optimization. The AI model considers opponent defensive shape, your own squad's fitness levels, each player's historical performance against specific defensive systems, weather conditions, and whether you need to win or a draw will do. The output isn't a definitive lineup. It's a probability matrix coaching staff use to stress test their instincts before making the call. Transfer scouting has been completely inverted. Traditionally, clubs sent scouts to physically watch players around the world, an expensive, slow, and geographically limited process that favored wealthy clubs. AI systems now ingest structured data from leagues across 40 countries and rank players by how closely their output profiles match what a specific club needs. The shortlist arrives before a human scout has booked a flight. Clubs like Brentford and Brighton built their entire competitive model on exactly this approach. 40 countries. That is roughly how many leagues major data providers now cover with structured event and tracking data. Argentina, Turkey, Portugal, Belgium, Japan. The geographic barrier to discovering hidden talent has effectively collapsed. A player performing at elite level in the Argentine Primera División is now visible to every club running this infrastructure, the same day, in the same ranked list as players from the Premier League. Football AI Pro changed the 2026 World Cup in one specific way that most coverage missed. Every team, from Brazil to Curaçao, had access to the same coaching intelligence platform. The structural disadvantage that had separated wealthy federations from everyone else was the data gap. Brazil had full analytics support for a decade. Curaçao had notebooks and film sessions. In 2026, that gap closed overnight for the duration of the tournament. Curaçao qualified for the World Cup for the first time in their history. Using Football AI Pro throughout the group stage, their coaching staff designed pressing triggers, built corner routines, and analyzed opponents using the same platform as Brazil and Germany. They reached the round of 16, the same stage as Uruguay, a country with one of the longest World Cup traditions in football. That is not a coincidence. It is the democratization argument made concrete. This is what the data shows when you track AI adoption impact across elite clubs. Set-piece goals are up over 70%, overall XG output up nearly 40%, pressing efficiency up 30%, soft tissue injuries down 40%, transfer return on investment up over 50%. Every single metric has moved in the same direction. The clubs that haven't adopted this infrastructure yet are running at a structural disadvantage that compounds each season. The counterargument matters and deserves to be taken seriously. Messi did not emerge from a data model. Ronaldo's trajectory was not predicted by an algorithm. The players who defined the last generation of football were statistical outliers, by definition, outside the distribution that AI optimizes for. Some coaches argue that over-reliance on data creates systems that are optimized for average performance, but incapable of enabling the kind of genius that actually wins the most important matches. There are clear limits to what AI can do in football. It can only tell you what a player has done before, under conditions it has seen. It cannot tell you what they'll do under genuine match pressure in a situation that has never happened. It cannot model the locker room, the interpersonal dynamics, whether a player's confidence is broken. It cannot account for the improvised genius of a midfielder reading a situation that has no historical precedent. The best AI coaching systems understand this and are explicit about it. Here is the honest take. The clubs winning with AI are not winning because the algorithm is smarter than the coach. They are winning because AI eliminates the analytical errors and the blind spots that waste good coaching instincts. The coach still makes the call. The AI makes sure the coach is not making that call blind. That distinction, tool versus decision maker, is what the best clubs have got right. What comes next is already in testing. AI assistant systems that provide real-time tactical suggestions directly to the coaching staff during matches, not to the players, but to the bench. Systems that model the live game state against historical patterns and flag tactical mismatches as they develop. The manager gets a notification. Your midfield is being overloaded in the left half space. Consider shifting to a back five. That capability is 6 to 12 months from mainstream adoption at elite level. New AI lesson every day. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next.